my name is Aaron Thompson. I'm currently enrolled for my Master of Science in Nursing with an education focus. This presentation is for advanced nursing practice with the University of Hartford and Professor Lori-Ann McLean. Today, I will be looking into Alabama Senate Bill 10. Alabama Senate Bill 10 is the Vulnerable Child Compassion and Protection Act, which prohibits gender change therapy for minors, prohibits withholding of certain related information from parents. This bill was passed in the Senate on May 2nd, 2021, sponsored by Republican Senator Jay Chenot. LGBTQ health requires specific attention from healthcare and public health professionals to address a number of disparities, including transgender individuals have a high prevalence of HIV or STDs, victimization, mental health issues, and suicide, and are less likely to have health insurance than heterosexual or LGBT individuals. LGBT youth are 2 to 3 times more likely to attempt suicide. Social determinants affecting the health of LGBT individuals largely relate to oppression and discrimination. Examples include legal discrimination in access to health insurance, employment, housing, marriage, adoption, and retirement benefits. The lack of laws protecting against bullying in schools, lack of social programs targeted and or appropriate to LGBT youth, adults, and elders. There's also a shortage of health care providers who are knowledgeable and culturally competent in LGBTQ healthcare. In the United Kingdom, they passed the Gender Recognition Act 2004, which safeguards the privacy of transsexual people by defining information in relation to the gender recognition process as protected information. Anyone who acquires this information is in official capacity may be breaking the law if disclosed without your consent. My thesis statement: Alabama Senate Bill 10 is harmful because transgender youth are one of the highest populations with suicidal ideations at 29%. Though, with the support and care provided at a young age, the transgender youth suicide rate decreases to 10%. Some people might argue that in the United Kingdom, where such therapies have now been banned on anyone 15 and younger, upon the successful of a civil suit brought by a victim of these so-called treatments, LGBTQ people comprise 4.5% of the U.S. population and deserve healthcare support at all ages, regardless of assigned gender at birth. Some of my personal thoughts and points. LGBTQ individuals encompass all races and ethnicities, religions, and social classes. Sexual orientation and gender identity questions are not asked on most national or state surveys, making it difficult to estimate the number of LGBTQ individuals and their health needs. Transgender care benefits the patient by increasing mental and physical well-being while reducing healthcare costs. It also increases longevity within this patient population of the LGBTQ. Some key points. With Alabama Senate Bill 10, the bill states a violation of this section is a Class C felony. No nurse, counselor, teacher, principal, or other administrative official at a public or private school attended by a minor shall do not to do either of the following. 1. Encourage or coerce a minor to withhold from the minor's parent or legal guardian the fact that the minor's perception of his or her gender or sex is inconsistent with the minor's sex. 2. Withhold a minor's parents or legal guardian information related to a minor's perception that his or her gender or sex is inconsistent with his or her sex. Social determinants affect the health of LGBTQ individuals, largely related to oppression and discrimination. Examples include legal discrimination in access to health insurance, employment, housing, marriage, adoption, and retirement benefits, lack of laws protecting LGBTQ kids against bullying in school, lack of social programs targeted and or appropriate for LGBTQ youth, adults, and elders, shortage of healthcare providers who are knowledgeable and culturally competent in LGBTQ healthcare. A study done by Turbin and Esker titled Gender Identity in Youth Treatment and Pleasures and Controversies was a first, in which associations between access to puberty suppression and suicide ideations were examined. There is a significant increase associated between treatment and puberty suppression during adolescent and lifetime suicidal ideations among transgender adults who ever wanted this treatment. This results align with past literature, suggesting that puberty suppression for transgender adolescents who want this treatment is associated with favorable mental health outcomes. They found that this decreased suicide rates between youth transgender individuals from 29 to 10%. In conclusion, finally, I want to underscore the importance of early interventions with parents and caregivers aimed at increasing affirming attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors towards gender diversity. Parents and caregivers should be provided with the most current evidence regarding the importance of adopting a transgender affirming stance towards their children. With affirming parenting, looks and sounds like, as well as evidence regarding the dangers of rejecting, invalidating, and minimizing their child's transgender identity, existing affirmation parenting interventions may represent exceptionally useful interventions for reducing interpersonal risk factors with transgender youth homes and families, such as suicidal ideations at a young age. Alabama Senate Bill 10, Vulnerable Child Compassion and Protection Act, should not be passed. I do not believe there are any pros to this bill. These are my references and sources that I used.